How you feeling after that? You're looking like you didn't take too much damage in there.
Yeah, no, I feel pretty solid. Obviously, there's always room for improvement. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter what happens as far as the performance goes. Always room for improvement, and that's kind of always going to be my mindset. But I'm happy that I was able to step in there and get my first win in the UFC.
Well, if you had to pick apart what you were saying, it looked pretty darn impressive to me. But what would you, are there any particular things that you know right away that you want to work on when you get back into the gym?
Well, I need to, I should have thrown way more punches on the feet. I should have been crisper on the feet. I should have came at him more. And the stuff he was hitting me with was so simple that I feel like he shouldn't have been hitting me with it. But we're just going to shore all that up. We're going to get back in the gym, work really hard. I was able to, get some good training in this camp, and we're going to only continue to step that up. I'm working hard to improve. All my coaches are working hard to improve. We all together are committed to, getting to the next level, even though we're already here. You know what I mean? This is a whole new ladder. I feel like I climbed a ladder to get here, and now we were on the bottom rung, and now I'm maybe one rung from the bottom. So I've got to continue to improve and level up.
And you're featured prelim, so obviously the UFC is paying attention to what you're doing. The logical next step would be possibly on the main card. Do you think with the performance out there that maybe that next time, whether it be the Apex or something, you might get that main card nod?
Who knows? My debut was on the main card, but I was fighting a ranked guy. So, I think that I've got to continue to make good performances, make sure I'm keeping up the entertainment for the duration of the fight. I feel like there were times in the third round where it got a little bit slow. And I want to make it to where I'm pushing the pace for 15 minutes and that nobody has to watch me just holding him down. If I'm on top of him, I need to be laying the hammer so that the fans are thoroughly entertained, because at the end of the day, they want to see two guys stand up and go to war. Yep. So if I am going to take these guys down, I need to pummel them.
And I know you envisioned more striking, and that's something that you want to kind of work on. But what was the game plan for him coming in tonight?
I think the key for this fight for me, coming into it, was putting pressure on him. I really wanted to keep him backing up and just put the pressure on him, stay in his face. And I think I did an okay job of that, but I really think I could have. I think if I really stayed on him and kept the feints coming, kept the punches coming, he would have maybe got a little bit more overwhelmed, and I could have got the finish.
Yep.
I got pretty close to the finish a couple times, and really in every round, but I think that going forward, this is actually, I had an 100% finish rate, so maybe I'm a little salty.
Yeah. I was going to say, a lot of times when people do have 100% finish rate or something like that, they focus on that so much. So obviously it was something you focused on, but I mean, at the end of the day, you still got the W, but now you could just work on the percentage again. But is that something that does really bother you, that you don't have that finish, that you had to go to a decision? Because it was unanimous still.
Yeah. I just really wanted to put on a really impressive performance. I hold myself to a high standard. I think no matter what I did, I would be picking it apart and picking holes in it. I've been a lifelong athlete. I grew up playing basketball, and I don't recall ever being satisfied with anything. When I was in high school, I broke my school scoring record, and I specifically remember that day. And literally getting in my car to drive home and thinking, man, now we have to win state. I've never accomplished anything and just been satisfied with it. So at the end of the day, I think that I'm always going to be picking holes in my performances and really wanting to improve. And I think that's what's going to help me continue to get better. I'm happy that I won, you know what I mean? But I want to put on better performances. It's that simple.
And I forgot about your past life as a basketball player. You still confident you're the best basketball player in the UFC?
I am the best basketball player in the UFC, but I've decided to make some revisions to my UFC basketball team. When I was in Seattle, when I was in Seattle, I hadn't done the proper research because I think the next step with the UFC basketball team that I'm putting together is that we're going to challenge the NFL.
Okay.
And that's going to be a really tough game because if you look at the NFL, those guys are some athletes, man. They're big. They're powerful. Lots of them played basketball, too. They got some damn good athletes in the NFL. So one guy that just fought tonight that is officially signed to Julius Walker's UFC basketball team is Christian Leroy Duncan, CLD. Yep. He told me that he could play point guard, and that's something we were kind of needing. In Seattle, I had Islam on the team to just play defense, but Islam's cut. And that's no disrespect to Islam, but I just don't think we're playing the NFL, man, so we got to have a good squad. I'm also picking up Phil Rowe and Danny Barlow Phil Rao and Danny Barlow, because they're both hoopers from what I've heard. Both good size, about 6'3". And then you're going to have me on the squad. And then also after the fight in Nashville, I had to decide to cut Taliesin Teixeira after his fight against Derek Lewis. He's now off of the team. So now the revised UFC basketball team, as of now, I'm still looking to recruit. So if anybody wants to hit my DM, let me know. UFC fighters that want to join my basketball team. We've got me, we got Phil Rao, we got Danny Barlow, we got CLD. And then it's really hard for me to come up with that last name just because I feel like we might need a little bit more size. I'm a big dude, like I can play down low a little bit, but man.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. If you're talking about putting CLD out on the point guard, I'm like, I would thought you would have maybe put him in the center or something.
Well,
but who's going to play the center?
I can handle that if I need to. CLD told me that he's a point guard.
Okay.
I talked to him today. Oh yeah, Cyril Gahn, he's on my team. Cyril Gahn, killer athlete. I seen this video of him dunking the ball. I don't even know if he can really hoop, but you know what I mean. I'm putting him on the squad because here's the thing, dude. That guy's an athlete. He'll be good. So it's me, Phil Rao, Danny Barlow, CLD, Cyril Gahn. We might need to get some bench players, so guys hit me up. We're gonna beat the NFL. I'm telling you, we're coming for the NFL. It's gonna be a tough game. Those guys are athletes, but I think we can do it.
I mean, they're incredible athletes, but they also have a lot of them have big verticals. They got hops. A lot of those NFL guys.
Did you say let Cyril Gahn, man? Look at the video of him dunking it. He can jump too. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, here's the thing. In other sports, if you play a guy in basketball and he beats you, you can say, "Oh, well, I'll fight you." You know what I mean? Here's the thing. They can't fight us. So at the end of the day, if we do lose, then we can just fight them and we can win that way. So.
100%. You can't argue with that.
Yeah.
And last thing, you look loose coming out there. If I'm not mistaken, that was a Dancing Queen that you walked out to.
Yep.
What's the decision behind that? Is that something you've done before?
I walked out to that in my debut. I walked out to that, and I think only one or two of my regional fights. So my last 4 fights now, I've walked out to ABBA songs.
Okay.
I did Take a Chance on Me for my last regional fight.
It's a great song.
It was actually a message like, "Hey, UFC, take a chance on me," and it worked. But yeah, so no, I've been doing Dancing Queen because here's the thing, man. At the end of the day, the walkout song is really for the crowd. Yep. You know what I mean? And nobody wants to hear these tough guy gangster rap. Nobody wants to hear that. They're trying to have a good time. Everybody's out there, drinking, trying to have some fun. So, you got to play a song like Dancing Queen so they can, who's that girl? You know what I mean? Yep. Get some jiving going and get the crowd having a good time. So we're probably going to keep sticking with ABBA songs.
Well, with that being said, now the UFC's got to do their part in getting you in front of a crowd in an arena if you're going to play some stuff like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's up to them. I think I've put on 2. The fights have been solid. So if they want to put me in front of a crowd, I would love that. The atmosphere in Seattle, dude, that was the experience of a lifetime. So hopefully we can get that shot. But here's the thing: they asked me to jump. I say how high. That's where I'm at in my career. So. You know what I mean? You can, Uncle D, you can tell me whatever you need from me, I'm doing it.
Congrats on the victory, and thanks for the squad update. We'll have to keep up on that one.
Yeah, write that down, guys.
My man, just a quick side note because we got to talk to Phil, Philly Fresh on the series and all that jazz. He will tell you to your face he's the best basketball player.
No, so
he's ready to go. You picked a good guy.
No, so I met him I went to Pereira versus Uncle Iev 313. I had a sponsor bring me out here for that, and I met Phil, and he told me he was like, "Dude, I would cook you one-on-one." And I said, "Hey, respect, but here's the thing: you got to stop me from getting to the basket. You got to stop all 230 pounds of me from driving straight to the rim. So that's not going to be an easy task. But here's the thing: he's on my team now. We're teammates. I don't even need to beat him. You know what I'm saying?"
Let me switch over to that fight. Great performance, unanimous, like Kenny mentioned. Good for you, man. You needed that win, but you educate me, please. When you said that Rafael hit you with stuff that was so simple, what does that mean?
I mean, he was just throwing like 1-2s, you know what I mean? And it's not like he was hitting me with stuff that I didn't even see coming, you know what I mean? Like, so I didn't feel like he was setting anything up really crazy. And this isn't any disrespect to him because he was improved from his last few fights, I think, on some level. And I think he came out and put on a good performance. He looked like he was in good shape too and ready to go. But I think that I just felt like it was stuff that I've seen before and I should have been able to handle. But, it's just back to the drawing board. I've got to continue to get good rounds in, go spar high-level guys, and continue to refine my game and my striking game so that when I am in the cage that I'm confident and I'm throwing punches and, making it a good fight.
Absolutely, man. And also what you and Kenny talked about was you got that main event slot for the preliminaries. So that's cool that the UFC acknowledges you and they're like, okay, let's get this guy acclimated properly. Because, we were just talking about it here with media that Elijah Smith's got that big knockout. And now he's like, I got to go to these arenas, yada, yada, yada. Give me top 15. There's levels to this, right? And you almost don't want to get too far ahead of yourself because before you know it, you're catching L's left and right.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I am Elijah's another guy. He's awesome. I got to meet him and spend a little bit of time with him this week. He's a really good dude, and he's only like 23, and 22, 23. I'm only 26. He's got a really good head on his shoulders already. You can just tell just from talking to him. So that dude's gonna have a super incredible future in the UFC. I would bet money on that. I think that for me, I've just got to, continue to come out, put on good performances. I'm relatively new in this sport. I did not grow up in a combat sports background. I think that's pretty rare for somebody to be, like, I learned how to throw a punch less than 6 years ago. I started training at the end. I started training in late August of 2019, so I'm about to hit my 6-year anniversary of even training. I didn't wrestle growing up. I never boxed. Like, I had no experience coming into this. And I've only been a pro for 2.5 years, not even 2.5 years. I turned pro in April of 2023. So at the end of the day, I'm kind of a baby in this game. So I know that, like, I have a lot to learn and a lot to improve upon. And I think that each fight, you're going to see me improve pretty rapidly just because, like, I'm at the beginning of this journey, and I really think I got a long way to go.
That's awesome, man. Well, respect to that. I appreciate you knowing where you're at and being self-aware. And also, can't wait to be in that arena and hear, like, Mamma Mia, here we go again.
Ooh, now, how can I forget you?
Just one up front. So you say that you didn't grow up, in fighting or in martial arts at all. But did you grow up watching anyone? Did you grow up watching? Who'd you watch in boxing or MMA?
So when I was a little kid, I loved wrestling. I loved WWE. I still do. I still honestly tune in here and there. And then as I got to, like, middle school-ish area, like 10, 12, it starts to not be as cool. Your friends will be like, dude, you watch fake wrestling, and they pick on you. So it became a closeted thing for me. But then the next thing that really got me into MMA was I thought Brock Lesnar was so cool. And then after that, I remember whenever the build-up for Silva, Sonnen 2 and listening to Chael talk trash like that, I was like, dude, this dude's the coolest guy ever, because I was a wrestling fan, and, like, the trash talk aspect of it was really cool to me. And then I got into high school, and I started being a little delinquent, and I see the Diaz brothers. I see Nick Diaz, flipping people off, and, I guess I'm on TV, so I don't know, like, smoking joints and stuff. And I was like, dude, that guy's so cool. I want to be like him. You know what I mean? So those were some of those guys that really got me into it, I would say.
Well, they are using medical marijuana.
Yeah, of course.
So a little different. And WWE is cool again. It's all part of the TKO family and all.
Oh, dude, yeah. So technically, yeah. So if I get more popular and WWE wants to take a chance on me, you know what I mean? Like ABBA, if you change your mind, you take a chance on me. Triple H.
Just one question about the fight. You talked about it being, he was throwing simple combinations at you. What's the danger in something like that when a guy like that is in front of you? How does that affect what you want to do?
I thought he did a good job of, like, just coming forward, throwing crisp punches. I think I could have done a better job getting out of the way of him. Could have done a much better job countering him. I think he showed a good amount of poise in there as well. I think if you look at his first couple of UFC fights, once he got put under some pressure, it was really hard for him to deal with. And maybe I didn't do a good enough job putting him under that pressure. But I think he did a good job of, like, staying in the pocket, coming forward, throwing punches. He did what he had to do to keep himself in the fight. And that I think that led to, us going all 3 rounds and it being more competitive. I really, really wanted to, get that finish. And in the first round when I locked up with him, I felt physically stronger. And I thought I was like, okay, that's my path to victory. I can get this guy to the ground and finish him. But he did a good job preventing everything. You know, he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. And, you know, I thought it was cool that I was able to kind of control a black belt on jiu-jitsu on the ground like that, threaten some submissions, take him down however many times I did. I thought that was pretty nice.
Thank you.
Sweet.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.